Mic check, mic check. Yes, now, people. Don't worry, I'm here. Yo, let me just make sure I got some volume in the bizac. Okay. No wings to speak of. Alright, not to be mistaken with unbroken wings. The metalcore connoisseur is back in the house with a recommendation. Joel has put us forth a nice, easy listening 4-track EP. I can't complain. 2001, I think this was put out on. Have we got information? 2002 Trustkill Records. That's at least the publishing. Released on 2002 07/23. We got Doug Venable, Josh Brigham, Ryan Parrish, Pat Aldrich, and Adam Morgan. We're listening to Hopesfall. Have I heard of Hopesfall before? I think so. I think I had one or two of their songs on my iPod back in the day. Put some respect on the iPod Classic, man. Put some respect on the iPod. I think I had a 64 gig. Does that sound about right to you? Or was it just a 60 gig? It was 64 gig, right? Because then you had it at 128 gig. Am I right in saying this? Am I remembering this? Was the iPod even a thing? We need to go back to the days of the iPod. I've still got mine and I tried plugging it in, right? Charging it. But the screen is knackered. The light turns on and it's like, whoa. I mean, to be honest with you, if I got a lead to plug that into my laptop, I might be able to access all of the music I once had. Now, the whole thing is I want to play it on the iPod. Don't get me wrong. But, bro, if I had access to all of the music I torrented back in my don't get me excited. I even had a few, I played videos, didn't I? I had a few cheeky videos on there. I'm not going to lie to you. Not gonna lie to you, people. We're not gonna go into. I had a few. I was gonna say I'm not gonna go into depth. I had a few naughty America videos on there. Don't gas me. This one's devoted to Joel. Open hands to the wind. Yeah, this isn't about me. This is about the music. Let's jump in. Yeah, I'm not familiar with this band. Let's go. But if it's recommended by the metalcore connoisseur, I have an idea where we might be going. Yo, on a side note, only today I watched a video of a band's last set. It was only recent. It was a metalcore band, vegan, straight edge metalcore band, young kids in the band. And it's a great sight to see. This band did not come up on my radar whatsoever. But if you watch the live event, the last live show, people bloody enjoyed them. People knew the words, people knew the moments. They had a half an hour set. Check out the band X Nomad X. Didn't come up on my radar. X Nomad X is the band. Check them out. Check that last show out. I like this stadium rock-esque guitar line going on here. This is harmonically very nice, very pleasing to me, man. Some lovely twinkles there, eh? Great use of two guitars, eh? That was really good. Very professional, very mature. I wonder where this came as far as their discography was concerned. Perhaps they had a demo out before this. I mean, 2002. I can see that they had at least they had an LP out. Satellite years. Great sound and production. I was in two minds as to whether this came down later in the line of their discography, or if this was like prior to their debut LP, because of the quality of the production. It's a good investment. It's good. Not only is it a good investment in the production and the sound quality, but the the quality of the music is really good. There's a lot of different sections. It's structured. It's concentrated energy, and there's some great guitar lines. They have a fantastic way of using and utilizing them two guitars, instead of just one guitar following the other, and that's about it. We've got April Left with Silence coming up next. Yes, now bless now, people. Don't forget to rest now. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. April Left with Silence is track number 2 of 4 on the EP by Hopesfall entitled No Wings to Speak Of. Let's jump straight in. Bruh, I swear to you, this 2000s metalcore was a psyop. It was a psychological operation to indirectly usher in the peak of emo and emo adjacent music in the mid 2000s. I'm telling you. Don't you think it's funny how it all aligned? Because this is metalcore, right? But as far as the poetic lyrical content and the stories of love and loss and so forth, that's not what you find in hardcore music. I mean, you do from time to time, but it tends to be based more so on, you know, I'm angry at the world, as opposed to, you know, poeticizing and writing, you know. I don't know. But you know where I'm coming from. Whereas at this time you had all of these different routes which led into emo and scene kid. And emo, not strictly speaking on like, you know, emo, but emo in the sense that emo took over everything. There was an emo undercurrent with deathcore. Of course, you had the new screamo, which was very prominent in the 2000s. You know, obviously not scrams, but screamo. I think screamo was one of the most marketable words that came out. Anybody who doesn't really know metal knows the word screamo. Isn't that incredible? I'm not really into that screamo music. Okay, very marketable word, you know? Lovely transition. Plenty of cool ideas going on, huh? Plenty of cool ideas. Last album I checked out was Green Day, Nimrod. And it's quite funny given, you know, we're writing songs based on 3 power chords, and this is the counter opposite. I mean, we're going from section to section to section to section. And a like album, or record, or band, or genre, the band Unbroken Wings, I've seen, I don't know if they're touring, but they're performing on an half decent bill with Shattered Realm and another couple cool acts, from what I'm aware. Shattered Realm are a fun novelty band in my opinion. I've seen so many bands cover All Will Suffer or All Shall Suffer by Shattered Realm. I've seen so many bands cover that song, and the people love it. You know what I mean? The people always get along with it. Is quite humorous. You know, we've got The End of an Era coming up next. Yeah, Yes, now bless now, people. Don't forget to rest now. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV. I'm a little bit peckish. Not going to lie to you, people. I could do with a little scran. End of an Era is track number 3 of 4 on No Wings to Speak Of, the 4-track EP by the band Hopesfall. This entire listen through goes out to my friend Joe. Let's jump in, shall we? Come on now. Now. Isn't it such a great contrast between metal and like not metal in particular, but the primitive elements of metal and the harmonious and graceful melodic elements of the music that exists external to the metal and hardcore world, you know. Because, you know, we've got these soothing, great violin-esque guitars going off here and these harmonies, yet you just hear this double kick come through and just punch through the mix, you know. Really good. Yo, I put up a video of me playing a little bit of Slayer, yeah? And a girl said I was hot. Who says That metal is a sausage fest. When is the next government ploy to promote and socially engineer the immigration of the female into hardcore music? I think that's what they really should be focusing on, to be honest. I think that's the future. Yeah, that's the future of social engineering and what do you call it? Socio-economic or political, movement. More women in shouty music, please. Bruh, I'm going to do a mad one, to be honest with you. I've been wanting to sit on a rant and a rave for a minute. Do you know hardcore music? Not this particular music, although metalcore does, there are pockets of metalcore that align with it, but like punk rock, political and like hardcore punk music, they always talk about how inclusive it is, and they're always virtue signaling about, I love everyone and everyone's involved and I fight for the rights of everyone, yeah? And then you'll look at, bro, trust me, you'll look at a photo taken, like, of the participants in a venue at one of the events. They're all white men. It's like, demographically speaking, it's the least diverse music scene on planet Earth. And yet there's this need and emphasis to like talk about how inclusive everything is and fight for the rights of people who don't even exist within the community. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But, whilst we got on the realm of politics there and, demographics and stuff, I'm sick to death of it. I hate the virtue signaling thing. I was looking into a bit of psychology recently based on people who are so overt in how good they are and how they fight for the rights of people and so forth, and it's a clear cover-up of maybe a past self or a duality of self, the shadow side, the darkness that exists within them, and they know who they are, they know what they've done, and they know what they're doing, so they have to mask and cover themselves up. I mean, you know what I mean? The punk rock people known for being good people. That's my rant over, but if I was in university studying psychology or sociology, I'd try look into that, Lovely. There's an element of post-hardcore in this band. That was great. Great outro there. Great outro there. Yeah, there's an element of post-hardcore now. What I would consider like a post-hardcore sound, that airy-fairy, open, atmospheric feel. We had a band that really emphasised on that. I don't know if they're from the UK. I think they were. They're called Renoa. Yeah, they were good. I enjoyed their sound. Let's finish off with the Far Pavilions, yeah? See you there. Yes, now bless now people, don't forget rest now. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV, finalising this little 4-track EP with the Far Pavilions, alright? This entire list has gone out to my friend Joel. Let's finish this record off, yeah? Dun, 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 dun. Very nice, very tasteful. It's not normal. You hear such a punctuated, powerful kick in the midst of such twinkling guitars. I like it. It's a unique sound, you know. I like it. It's good contrast. That was brilliant. That was really good. The Far Pavilions was the title of that one. That was probably my favourite on the record. Yeah. I really liked the guitar work. I really liked the atmosphere. I really liked the elements they incorporated into that. That was, in my opinion, the best track on that record. I'm going to do one last video where I'll give you my final overview of this as a whole, as a project, and I'll rate it out of 10 for you. I'll see you there. One moment. Yo, what's good, people? There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV signing in. Hopesfall was the band we listened to just a moment ago. The EP, only 4 tracks, was entitled No Wings to Speak Of. It was recommended on the Patreon by my good friend Joel, sticking with his rightful pseudonym of the Metalcore Connoisseur. This record was put out 2001, 2002. Trustkill Records, if I remember correctly, but maybe I'm wrong there. I believe it's Trustkill. Great sounding production. 4 tracks. The full EP in one video tells me it's 90 minutes 35 seconds long. And I'm tired, people, don't get me wrong. But we're going to go into, a little bit of detail on this record. I thought the production was very good. I thought it was very, very, very symbolic of the times. I felt it was a good project. I felt it was well invested, right? A couple of quid. Even though it's 4 tracks, you can tell they've really gone to a nice studio for this, got a nice producer for this. And not only that, but the investment resides in the actual detailing of the songwriting as well. They've not just riffed about for 2 minutes straight and then gone into a different section. There's so many different elements and so many, fascinating dynamics and harmonies and cool moments on this record, song by song by song. And I really like the atmospheric element of this band. This isn't a mosh band. This isn't a mosh record. We're not erring on the metalcore where it's like breakdown emphasized, breakdown concentrated. We're in the realms of metalcore where we're erring a little more towards musicianship and craft and some degree of melodic hardcore, emo sort of elements, which I spoke of briefly, and probably like the first track. I like the twinkly guitars. I think this band's got a great use of 2 guitars. The drumming is very good. I do like the drumming. Kind of in 2 minds as far as how the drum is produced. The producer is given a little bit of leeway to the guitars, whereas the drummer, isn't the most prominent instrument in the mix. But that's not to say it was of detriment. It sounded really good. Of course, the vocals, harsh, got some clean vocals. Nothing abnormal as far as metalcore is concerned of this particular, sector. I enjoyed it. I thought this was a good project. It was nice to listen to a 4-track EP. I think, although it would be absolutely fantastic to listen to a full-length album by this band, I think if this record was 10 tracks, it could potentially outstay its welcome. It could burn me out, you know, because there is so much content, and we are going from cool, calming, soothing to extremity and back and forth, you know, to such an extent where I might be, you know, mentally burnt out, and my concentration might have moved on elsewhere if it wasn't as brief as it was, because it's very powerful and, um, you know, well orchestrated record. But such, you know, you find that the easy listening and, you know, successful marketable records, you know, tend to be a little more dumbed down, a little more simple, because they don't wear the listener out. And this is an act which is, you know, got quite an intense sound, you know, the harsh vocals and whatnot. So I think that I say all that to say this, it is a benefit to this being a 4-track. Very enjoyable. On that note, I am going to sign out. I want to say one love. I'm going to rate this record. You know what? I'm going to be bold with this one. No, I can't. I have to stick with the program. I was wanting to give it an 8 because I think it's great quality, concentrated material for what it is, but purely down to the fact it's not necessarily my flavour, you know. I like something a little bit more mosh pit friendly. I like a good breakdown. I like a, you know, ignorant, primitive, knuckle dragging mosh riff. Purely down to that, I'm going to just take half of a point off, you know, for personal tastes. But as far as a project is concerned, I'd be happy to give it an 8, but we'll call it a 7.5 to meet you halfway, yeah. That was no wings to speak of. Yeah, that was a satisfying listen. I'm signing out.